it's Rebecca from the Glitch Stitchery. I'm here today with another Glitched Knits segment. So today I am working on the Chevron seed stitch. I'm going to try to make a hat out of it. So what I've done so far is I cast on 64 stitches in the teal color that I forget the name of. I forget the name of both of these. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, cast on 64 stitches in the first color, did 8 rows of knit 4, purl 4 for a 4x4 rib. Then for row 9, I purled the entire row, switched to color B, purled another entire row, and now I'm getting ready to start the chevron seed stitch portion of the hat. Now there are 2 different ways to do this, whether you're doing it flat or round. So if you're working flat, you're going to want that portion. If you're going to be working the round like I am, you're going to want this portion. You could always pause and screenshot this, although I'm sure you can find these instructions in other locations typed up if you cannot read my handwriting, or I could type them up and put them in the description. That works as well. But we're going to be working with this portion. So what I'm going to do for the first part of the video, since I am a little nervous about doing this stitch, is I'm going to be keeping track here of the rows I've done and just like checking them off while I work through this in time lapse. And then after I get a few of them done, I will stop time lapse and we'll come back and talk a little bit about this particular stitch pattern, any difficulties I had, any thoughts, and hopefully that will help you if you decide you want to try this stitch pattern as well. It is a fairly, it's just purls and knits, so in that particular manner it is fairly simple. However, just looking at it, there's not really an easy to remember pattern here. So we'll see how this goes. I'm going to switch to time lapse and let's give it a shot. So I've done 3 repeats so far, and I have notes. The first is that when I first copied this down, I made a mistake in row 4 of the repeat. So I did it the first time, I was like, none of these are lining up, I don't know what I did wrong. And then I went back and I looked at the flat version, and I was like, oh, okay, so that's 8 stitches. This is 9, something's wrong. And I figured out which one was wrong and fixed it in the subsequent repeats, and then it comes out correctly. It's really hard to see, but there are ridges and chevrons in here, and you can feel them when you touch the fabric, which is really cool. You just have a really awesome texture. I love touching it. Now, beyond that, I will say that if I used a less busy yarn, you would be able to see this a lot better. In the pictures in the book I was referencing, they used white, and it looked quite nice in white. Now, I am still designing this hat. I think what I'm going to do is do 1 more repeat in the chevron, and then do 2 more rows of purls, and then at that point do a different stitch for the next portion of the hat, and then do like a texture sampler hat. So hopefully 3 textures total by the end. So that is the current plan, and I'm just writing down my plan so I don't forget. So, and then the next video I will do the next textured portion. But yeah, definitely a fun pattern to check out, and it's not a particularly difficult pattern. Once I got into it, it definitely has a rhythm to it because, you know, the first row is purl 1, knit 3. So I just started counting in my head, purl 1, knit 3, purl 1, knit 3. It works out. This one is a little bit more difficult, but knit 1, purl 1, knit 5, purl 1. After you get past the first knit 5, my brain starts going purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 5, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 5. And I get through it. This one is very similar to the first row because it says knit 2, purl 1, knit 3, purl 1, knit 1. But that knit 1, you go right back into knit 2, so it actually ends up being purl 1, knit 3 after this point. Purl 1, knit 3, purl 1, knit 3, and so on. And number 4 is very similar. So yeah, you end up getting a rhythm to it. Row 4 is very similar to row 2. It ends up being, after you get past this first chunk, the knit 2 goes right into the knit 3, so it becomes knit 5, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 5, purl 1, knit 1, purl 1, knit 5. So once you get used to it, it's very easy to just keep going, and it didn't take me too long to get through 3 repeats. I did not keep track of the timing because that is always depressing, but for a slow knitter like me, it still didn't take that long. So yeah, I'm going to do 1 more repeat. I'm going to do 2 rows of purls, and then when we come back for my next video, we will do the next portion of this sampler. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see y'all again soon.